to show how serious these issues of poverty really are, I'm going to play a 3-minute portion of my exclusive interview with Noam Chomsky for you right now.
I mean, we've been through a very unusual, in fact, unique period of U.S. economic history. Now, the last 25 years, real wages and mean family incomes have stagnated or declined. Now, that's never happened before, except like in the Great Depression. There's been no Great Depression. There's been growth, but it's into very few pockets. So people are working hard. I mean, we now have some of the lowest wages and highest working hours in the industrial world. You go back 25 years, it was the reverse, as you'd expect in the richest country in the world. Well, that means people are really working hard. They're being deluged with propaganda, which is called advertising and mass media and cinema and so on. But it's just propaganda, which is designed to make you feel that your worth in life depends on how many useless commodities you pick up. And this starts with infants. So, I've watched infant television with my grandchildren. It's ludicrous. You got a family where the husband and the wife are working hard to put food on the table, and back at night, your kids want this, that, and the other thing because somebody else has them or they saw it on television, and, okay, you get it for them, and it just keeps going. Pretty soon you're in a debt trap. And that's a traditional way to enslave people. They didn't invent it. I mean, when there were slave revolts back in the early 19th century, say in Jamaica or the Caribbean and so on, it was then mostly the British, but also the Americans. You had to figure out a way to keep the slaves under control once they were technically free. And everybody hit on the same technique. Get them to want useless commodities. And then they go to the company store and they figure, you tell them you're going to give them a little credit and, the game.
There's no better form of
pretty
slavery.
Pretty soon you're back in slavery.
You don't
That's
need people in the
no,
towns
you don't
with
need
guns.
them. That
It's
works
all
pretty
done
well.
with cameras.
It works pretty well. And in fact, it was done over and over, just independently. United Fruit Company did it in Central America. The British did it in Jamaica. The public relations industry does it here. Yeah, sure. It just comes naturally to you. And when there's a period when you really have to control people, make sure no independence and turbulence takes place, just discipline, like the last 30 years or so, yeah, sure, you go right to that. So low wages, high working hours, propaganda to force people to max out 5 credit cards, pretty soon they're slaves. And it gets increased all the time, very consciously. I mean, the first major bill passed by the second Bush administration, written by the credit card industry, incidentally, was the bankruptcy reform, which is written by the industries. And they didn't hide it, I'm proud of it. And the purpose is to impose the burdens of excessive debt, not on the lenders who are responsible, but on the borrowers. Yeah, it just traps them more.
So there's my discussion with Noam Chomsky, one of the most recognizable and credible names in the American left.